back to another video. In this one we travel from my hometown, Chicago, Illinois, all the way out to Los Angeles, California. We got a nice little weekend planned, and the first stop is the casino, Hollywood Park Casino. We're gonna jump right into the action. We hop into the 3-5 game, which is a $300 max. So the stakes are pretty weird in my opinion, but we got used to it from last time. First hand we get that's playable is Pocket Kings, a premium. We're under the gun and we're gonna open up to $15. With our $15 raise, we're gonna get called in 3 spots. The cutoff, the button, and the small blind are the callers. Not ideal with Pocket Kings going that many players to the flop, but it's alright. And the flop comes Ace-6 King Rainbow with a middle set in a pretty juiced pot already. When the small blind checks, I should be c-betting, but I'm gonna go for a check raise with this board, and I check, and action checks through surprisingly. So my plan is no longer. When the turn is the Jack of Hearts, that brings a flush draw. Small blind's gonna check in flow. Can't have anyone seeing a free river, so I'm gonna go ahead and bet $30, just about half pot. And one by one, they all get out of the way. So, not the first ideal hand when we pick up a set, but whatever. Better to win a small one than lose a big one. So, starting it off right in Hollywood, and we take down this pot. On to the next hand. In this next hand, we have King 10 suited in the cutoff. It's limped by under the gun and the hijack, so we're gonna open it up to $25. Probably can go 30, but either way, $25. We're gonna get called by the small blind, the big blind, the under the gun limper, and the hijack. So there's no shortage of action at this table. So we're going 5 ways in position to an okay flop. It comes Queen 8-7 with 1 spade, the Queen of Spades. So we have that backdoor royal flush draw. But small blind checks, and now the big blind decides to lead out for $50. Under the gun 1 is going to now call the $50. Hijack gets out of the way, but with so much early position action, I don't really think there's much to do. I do have the backdoor royal, but that's no good likely, and we're going to make the fold. So we just can't connect, and moving on to the next hand. Looking down at 2 more spades in this hand, we have Ace-6 of spades and under the gun. I'm going to go ahead and open the action up to 15. I'm not sure if this is optimal, but we like these suited aces. We're going to get called by the cutoff and the small blind. So 3 ways to a flop. 4, 9, 10 with 1 spade. The small blind checks. This board shouldn't hit me a lot of times, so I'm going to check to the cutoff. And he's going to go ahead and wager $35. When the small blind folds, I do have 1 over, but I'm not going to go chasing, and we make the fold. Kind of getting sick of missing, so we pick up the pocket aces. It's limped by the middle position player, and I'm not going for limpers. I'm going to raise it up to $20. With my $20 raise, it's going to fold back around to this limper, and I'm praying for a call with aces, please. And he does give me the call. So we're going heads up to a flop in position. That's a decent flop. Comes 7 King 7 Rainbow. When my opponent makes the check, this is an older opponent, so I need him to catch up. He's going to be rather tight, so I'm going to make the check back. Now when the turn is the Queen of Spades and he checks once more, I cannot give another check, so I'm going to go ahead and wager, make it $25, just about half pot. Trying to build this pot any way I can, and he makes the fold, so sadness, and we take down a small one. But moving right along, we have pocket 8s in the small blind. A little bit of an awkward spot with these in the small blind. I want to see a flop, but don't really need to raise. So when it's folded to the middle position, he's going to open it up. It's that same opponent from last time, the older gentleman. Or, sorry, that's the cutoff. He makes it 15. Button makes the call. I'm going to go set mining. I make the call. Big blind calls as well. So, nice little pot. 4 ways to a flop. That flop is decent for my pocket 8s. Deuce 4-5 with 2 spades. When I check, the big blind is going to wager $30. A little unorthodox raising into the pre-flop aggressor, but that's what my opponent did here. And now the older gentleman is going to min raise to $60. What do we do here with an overpair? I mean, we kind of underrepped our hand. And we have an 8 of spades, but I think better of it. I fold, big blind jams, and we're going to be able to see the run out actually. The older gentleman ended up having kings, and the big blind mucked. So, good fold on my end, but we just can't connect, and we're going to connect soon, don't worry. We've had aces, we've had kings. Ladies, we're in under the gun. We open the action up to 15. We're going to get called in 2 spots by the middle position 1 and the small blind before it gets to my buddy Jack in the big blind. 15 is not in his eyes enough. He raises to 45, which is a rather small sizing. I think he should be going bigger with his premium hands. So this 45 raise doesn't mean a lot to me, but it is my buddy, so why is my buddy 3-betting me? Whatever, we have one of the better hands in the game. I'm thinking of a sizing. I decided to go with 140. Probably could have went bigger, but stack sizes are just rather shallow. Not money. We're like 60 big blinds deep with a $300 max. So I raised to 140. It's going to fold back around to my buddy Jack, who's going to 5-bet rip it for about 310, 320. I have him covered, so not much of a decision. We get it all in, and here's the run out.
Yeah, you're ahead. All right. Do you have a pair? No? All right. Yeah, that was you? Is that you? Nothing? Alright.
300. He cover you. Use 300.
Are we going to be watching these hands on YouTube?
You can if you want, yeah.
You have put in the board?
Moving right along from that heater, we pick up another premium hand, ace queen offsuit on the cutoff. When it's limped by old man and my buddy Jack to my right. I am not for limpers. I decided to raise it up to $30. I think this is a pretty standard size. And with this, we're going to get multiple folds back to that old man in the middle position. And he's going to be the only caller. So we're going heads up to a flop. And that's a pretty neutral flop. 3, 9, 10, rainbow. When my opponent checks, he'll have more of these middling cards. And I don't really want to get raised, so I'm going to go ahead and check back. And when the turn is the 10 of diamonds, it's actually a pretty good card. Because I feel like a lot of his top pair holdings would just lead out on the flop. He shouldn't really be betting a 10 here. So I'm going to get sticky and make the call. And how when the river comes, the 8 of clubs, I don't even beat a random bluff now. So when he leads for 100, there's not much I can do but make the fold. I feel like I like my peel on the flop, the ace queen high, but can't do much when we brick out. So my opponent's going to take this one down, and he later tells me he has king 10 of spades. So he had a pretty, or king 10 of clubs maybe? Yeah, king 10 of clubs. So he had a pretty strong hand, and I just didn't buy it, so we lose this one. Moving right along, we pick up another ace 10 offsuit in under the gun 1. Under the gun folds, we're going to go ahead and open to $15. It's going to fold around to the hijack. They're going to make the call along with the button. Everyone else is going to get out of the way. So 3 ways to a flop. 3, 6, 7. 2 clubs. Give the ace of clubs. So not a terrible board. I'm going to check to my opponents, see what they want to do. Hijack is going to now lead out for $30. $40 actually. And when the button folds, I got 2 overs in that backdoor flush draw. So I make the call. When the turn is the 7 of hearts, not a very good card for me. I'm going to make the check. The hijack now bets $75. Maybe if the turn was a club, I'd peel one more, but with not much of a hand at this point. Frustratingly make the fold, so we're just bleeding away money at this point. Now moving along to the last hand of the night, we have Jack 10 offsuit. on the button.
Yep.
It's a straddled pot, and we decided to limp for the $10. Just a horrible play. Just already starting off this hand horrible. We should be opening the action up here, but the small blind, the big blind are going to make the call, and the straddler is going to check his option. So 4 ways in position, not a terrible outcome. But now when the flop comes 3, Jack, Queen, all hearts. Ooh, middle pair, we have a heart. Action's going to check to me, and I check. What am I doing? Middle pair and a heart. I likely have the best hand. Now when the turn is the 9 of diamonds, small blind checks. Big blind's going to now lead for 20. The straddle calls the 20. And I just call. So, I mean, let me know where you guys would have done in this hand. I think just raising pre-flop would have been the move. But whatever, we're at this point now. And when the river is the 6 of clubs, seemingly a brick in my eyes. And when the big blind leads for 50, the straddle ends up folding. And I'm thinking in my head, what types of hands is betting this river? He didn't flop a flush. The queen would have just let out on the flop. Most sets are betting here, but I feel like that probably would have re-raised pre-flop instead of just limping. So I want to put on my hero pants and make the call. I double check. I have the 10, so I block the straight. And I have the 10 of hearts, so he shouldn't have many flushes. I'm going to make the call. I stick in the $100 chip, and he shows me 6-9
I
offsuit.
literally thought in my head he could have some
Runner, runner, 2 pair. Well, that's how you lose the maximum with middle pair. And oh man, that hand put me on tilt. And shortly after,
How lucky this guy gets.
Jack busts, and we're gonna cash out soon after. So we leave Hollywood on a terrible note.
It was 50.
And man, that one seat just was getting lucky all night. So we lose that one and
Bro, I can't. He actually just went
cash
on
out
the-
shortly after.
Oh my god. Thank you. Just got done with that session. Here with my guy Jack. He donated to me one hand, so I really appreciate that, Jack.
Yeah, I was a donkey.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We don't hate those plays. Ace queen versus queens, just a cooler. But we got in for 300, out for 475. So a nice little profit. I think thanks to Jack. Otherwise, we would have lost.
In for 1,000, out for 0.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Oh,
that's his result. Whatever, you know, you win some, you lose some, but that's another vlog from Hollywood Park Casino. Haven't really been on here much, sorry guys. The short grind is taking over, but hopefully you guys enjoy some of the extra clips in this video. I'll throw some in, and obviously the poker is the main part, but I didn't really do too much in today's hands. Let me know on any thoughts on any hands. I think that Jack 10 one was horribly played. I should have raised pre-flop.
Runner to win.
Yeah, I'm dog shit for that hand. Oh, sorry YouTube. But here we are, signing out from LA. Peace. Catch you guys. Thanks for watching.
Just kidding, we're not done with the hands. One more hand review. We're at the Christy Estate Casino. We have pocket kings in the big blind. I raised it to 350 pre-flop, and my buddy Gio made the call. We're going heads up to a flop. Queen, 8, queen, rainbow. With pocket kings, I think we can go with a down bet sizing, so I decided to c-bet for $2. And for $2, Gio's going to make the call. Still going heads up. Max, we don't like that. We don't appreciate that. Still going heads up to the turn, which is the king of clubs. We seemingly turned the nuts, so now I'm going to give Gio some rope to catch up. I decided to make the check. He checks back. River, 6 of diamonds, pretty much inconsequential. I want to go pretty polar on this river. Nuts or nothing, in my opinion. I decided to bet $10, and Gio snap folds. So we're going to take it down with pretty much nuts. Here's a super sick view on top of my friend's apartment. Got the whole view. We saw the Hollywood sign from here, downtown Los Angeles, the mountains, and it was a perfect time for the sunset. We also hit up Rodeo Drive, peeped some of the shops. Yeah, I didn't get anything. It's too expensive for my blood. And we hit the beach. Wasn't really beach weather, but it's still a sick view nonetheless. Along with the beach, we were inside at the Laker game. You already know we had to go see Bron ball out. Bron versus Curry, it was a show. Here's some clips for you guys to enjoy. Along with Bron and Curry, my guy Max got a bucket. Shout out to Max for plugging with the seats and having us out there. Always a good time with my guy. And that's gonna do it from LA. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little vlog trip. Nothing really exciting happened in the poker hands, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the video overall. Thanks for watching.